This is a summarized main story of Arknights Endfield version 1.1. You decided to check on Tangtang at Qingbo Stockade since you haven't been able to contact her recently. To recap, Qingbo Stockade is a faction separated from Wuling City, living in difficult and poor conditions. Even though they probably come from the same place, they do not get along mainly because of the economic inequality and lack of resources on both sides due to the dangerous very large rift. This is especially true for Qingbo Stockade, as they usually had to steal supplies from the city to survive. On top of that, some people believe that there were even historical cases where a few people from Qingbo Stockade had been mysteriously killed by the Tianshi, the sorcerers from the city, which will be revealed later in the story. The Qingbo Stockade gate is sealed shut, and no one is outside to welcome you. Just then, you receive a call from Ruan Yi, informing you that the progress of tracking down Neferith, the main villain alongside Ardashir, has been forcefully stopped. Turns out, their monitoring center has gone silent, and she requests your help to investigate the situation. The monitoring center is being invaded. Although you thought it was the Bone Crushers doing, you are surprised to see hostile Qingbo Stockaders present in the area. It seems like they are responsible for the sabotage, but you do not believe that Tangtang's people will go this far and invade Wuling City's facilities, and that it is definitely not Tangtang's doing. You stumble upon Mi Fu, who is also there under Ruan Yi's order to handle the situation. However, the defeated Stockaders are stubborn and refuse to reveal what has happened behind the scenes. Therefore, your team and Mi Fu decide to enter Qingbo Stockade directly to investigate. Mi Fu reveals that she was originally from Qingbo Stockade as well, but now she's working for Wuling City. This is why she is always assigned tasks related to the stockade. Since the main gate is tightly shut, she leads you to a secret passage. At the entrance, you stumble upon several bone crushers, just as you expected, and they appear to be waiting for something. However, upon entering the stockade, you do not see any clear signs of the bone crushers. Instead, you are once again greeted by hostile Qingbo Stockaders. Bit by bit, you manage to deduce that the Qingbo Stockaders are having a civil war, fighting amongst themselves as the majority of the Stockaders want to work with the Bone Crushers to go against Wuling City aggressively, maybe wanting to start a war or something, while the sane minority, including Tangtang, rejects this plan, which has led to them being locked up. After saving some of the victims and beating up more hostile Stockaders, you finally find Tangtang locked in a cage. Meanwhile, her brother, Ruan Yi, is talking to Ardashir. This reveals to everyone that Ruan Yi is the one leading the attack on Wuling City and that he is working directly with the main villain, Ardashir. You sneak in to rescue Tangtang after Ruan Yi and Ardashir leave. Through Tangtang's vision, we see some of her past, revealing that Ruan Yi's late father was killed by the Tianshis of Wuling City while he was trying to raid and steal supplies for their survival. Now, with Ardashir, Neferith and the Bone Crushers tempting them, they have decided to seek full revenge on Wuling City, which is something they have wanted ever since that day. Later in the story, we will find out that the death of Ruan Yi's father was somewhat of an accident. It happened when the Tianshi was rebuilding the science station, and it was a rainy night when they were raided by the Stockaders who are desperate for supplies. Due to the poor visibility, the Tianshi accidentally unleashed arts that killed Ruan Yi's father. Although Wuling City has been trying to fix the relationship with Qingbo Stockade after the incident, but obviously it made little to no progress, and Ruan Yi thinks that blood can only be paid by blood. Now you might be thinking, isn't all this just Qingbo Stockade's fault since the very beginning? Because they were the ones who raided Wuling City in the first place. Well, it is, but I think it might be better if we understand it in this way. As mentioned, both Qingbo Stockade and Wuling City originated from the same place, so it made sense for them to help each other this whole time. But due to the very large rift that deteriorated the living conditions, especially to the underdeveloped Qingbo Stockade, they think that Wuling City failed to uphold safety against blight, and they have been ignored as they receive no help from the city. The truth is, both sides are actually having a hard time of their own. like Serenite shortages in the Wuling city. So this awkward situation that they are in caused some misunderstandings in addition to the death of Ruan Yi's father. Coming back to the story, after rescuing Tangtang, Tangtang is sad. She has no idea why Ruan Yi would go this far all of a sudden and refuses to believe the truth. Despite Mi Fu trying to stop her, Tangtang insists that she wants to chase after Ruan Yi and Ardashir. You meet Ardashir and Ruan Yi on a bridge. Tangtang yells at Ruan Yi, but instead of turning back, Ruan Yi uses his powers against his own sister. He destroys the bridge, stopping your team in their tracks.
"你还可以回头。
没有回头路了。走吧。
Seeing that her brother would even attack her, Tangtang is heartbroken. Mi Fu again argues that they should fall back for now, since things have gotten a bit out of hand, but Tangtang refuses once again. Mi Fu has no choice but to allow you and Tangtang to continue chasing Ruan Yi. For now, Mi Fu bids you farewell to report the situation back to Zhuangfang Yi. On the way, you find Waterbell seriously injured. She is another Ruan Yi's closest friend and tried to stop him on her own, but failed. This proves to Tangtang that Ruan Yi is truly no longer on her side, and a battle with him is inevitable. Tangtang is extremely heartbroken, confused, and on the brink of giving up. But you manage to pull her back so she can settle this crisis once and for all as the chief of Qingbo Stockade.
相信我，会一直站在你身边。
As you finally catch up to Ruan Yi, you see a faint purple glowing on his arms. It looks like Ardashir has given him some dangerous powers. Ardashir first warns Ruan Yi that if he fully unleashes these new powers, he will die. Tangtang tries one last time to talk some sense into her brother, but Ruan Yi claims that it is too late to turn back, and that vengeance is inevitable.
我不会放弃。不伤这条命。这就是机会。等等。
Ruan Yi unleashes his full power and turns into a bull-like monster, engaging in a battle with you and Tangtang. In the end, your team claims victory, though there's no way to save Ruan Yi's life. At the brink of death, Ruan Yi tells Tangtang to take his horn to Wuling City so that she can make a living out of it.
你更重要，大当家。试试吧。今后用它保护寨子，保护你自己。
You decide to give Tangtang some alone time. Just then, you meet Ardashir. He does not care about your accusations of him being a malevolent puppeteer or that everything is his fault. He only tells you that he will continue to oppose you and that next time he will have a different target. With that, he leaves swiftly. Then, we were revealed to another scene, where Ardashir told Neferith that disabling the Siranite Dam is their goal. Now here it does look like the story is coming to an end, but it is actually far from done. Though the rest of the story is mostly just about you spending time with Tangtang, so I'm gonna summarize it quick. After the incident, there are remaining Ruan Yi loyalists still coordinating with the dangerous bone crushers in the Qingbo Stockade, currently led by Uncle Shang, one of Ruan Yi's close relatives. As the chief, Tangtang holds the responsibility to settle their case once and for all, even though she still misses her brother. However, she has been avoiding you. Because you have helped her so many times, she has decided to settle this problem on her own this time. But hey, you are someone with aura and plot armor, so you eventually managed to reach her when she got into some trouble. Then, it was just a series of bonding moments with Tangtang, where you do stuff like dress her wounds, talk about her past, and ask her to visit Endfield and disarm a bomb. Well, yes, it was some bombs prepared by the Ruan Yi loyalists to cause some ruckus and destruction in Wuling City. Bit by bit, the two of you managed to find the hideout of Ruan Yi's loyalists. By also showing them Ruan Yi's horn and relaying his final words, Tangtang manages to beat some sense into the loyalists. They finally abandon the idea of vengeance and stop working with the Bone Crushers. After settling the problem with the loyalists, Tangtang decides not to follow Ruan Yi's last words about bringing his horn back to Wuling City. Instead, she buries the horn at Ancestral Spring, the very place where the battle with Ruan Yi occurred.
大当家，没关系，想哭就好好哭一场吧。
今天阳光很好，这里不会再下雨了。
Days later, Tangtang asks to meet you in Wuling City. It turns out that, as the chief of Qingbo Stockade, she wants to meet Ruan Yi to discuss on rebuilding the ties between the city and the stockade. Tangtang wants you to accompany her, as she still finds Ruan Yi a little bit scary. Before the meeting, you and Tangtang again had some bonding experiences, as you bought her a balloon when she was trying to scam one from a kid, and that the two of you also had a meal at Dapan's hot pot restaurant. During the meeting, Ruan Yi first expresses her intent to officially provide supplies to Qingbo Stockade. Tangtang is appreciative, but she has a request of her own. Knowing that Wuling City is currently raising an elite force to counter the Aggelois and Landbreakers, she offers the Stockades full cooperation on their behalf. In return, she asks if Ruan Yi could let the former loyalists go, requesting that she will be the one punishing them instead. To Tangtang's shock, Ruan Yi fully accepts the request. After a long walk, Yu and Tangtang leaves. Tangtang feels a sense of accomplishment, but at the same time she's a little overwhelmed. Yu once again invites her to visit Endfield someday. She accepts your invitation and jokingly swears that she'll rename Endfield as Qingbo Field and take over to become your chief instead. With that, the story comes to an end.
黑面，叫你一声管理员好了。明天见啦，管理员。
That was the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed.